my name is Gillian McDunn, and I'm super excited to talk to you about my newest book, Trouble at the Tangerine. It is a mystery, and it is about a boy who is used to moving all over the place with his family. They've moved all kinds of places, and the main character, Simon, is just tired of it. He's really ready to settle down. So he's kind of decided that this next move is going to be it. His parents don't know yet, but he's not planning to move so much after that. But on the day they move into their apartment building, there's a theft of like a priceless ruby necklace gets stolen from one of his neighbors, and so Simon decides that he's going to need to solve the case so he can stay in this community that he really wants to be a part of. So it's got a very like quirky feel to it. The apartment building has lots of fun characters, lots of pets, lots of mysterious things about the building itself. And yeah, and there's a lot of suspense and excitement with this one. I have been writing my whole life, but this is my sixth published book. My first book came out in 2019 called Caterpillar Summer, and I've had one a year since then. So I think that if a book club were reading this book, it would be so fun to hear their discussion about lots of things. That's kind of a writer's, I think, dream to be a fly on the wall for those kinds of discussions. But the thing I would specifically be super excited to hear them discuss would be like their theories about who did it as they were reading. That is something that is a really fun thing to do when you're writing a mystery, is to be thinking like just not where I want the story to go, like as the writer, but where I'm imagining the reader is taking the story, because obviously you don't want anything to feel too obvious in the beginning. So there's like different possibilities and different clues. So I'm always thinking about what the reader is picking up on, and some things may feel a little more like an obvious clue, and some things may be more subtle. And I just love, I think that's really fun. I think mysteries are a great fit for young readers for a lot of different reasons. I have a lot of memories as a kid myself going to get mysteries from the library, getting a big stack of them and like working my way through. I think mysteries are really great because a good one will hook the reader and they just kind of can't wait to see what happens. I think it also really helped with my own personal critical like thinking skills as a reader, that comprehension. You're trying to keep the whole thing in mind and paying attention and thinking about motives. It's just really like a fun way to dig deep and do all those things we want for readers in a really fun way. I specifically wrote Trouble at the Tangerine with the thought of today's readers needing a lot to keep them engaged and excited. So the chapters are very short. So I'm hoping that'll encourage independent readers, and I'm hope it'll also be really fun in a read aloud kind of setting, where you might want to just, have to do one chapter before bedtime, or maybe get a couple of them in there if there's time. Okay, so libraries have impacted my life and my writing career in many ways. When I was a little girl, I went to the Santa Ana Public Library in Southern California, and Mrs. Rios was my favorite librarian. The children's section was small but really varied. And the thing that I loved about that library and about Mrs. Rios is it felt that she would like libraries are just such a fun way because it's low stakes. You could pick up whatever you want. You could try whatever you want. And I feel like that helped lead me in some different directions. This was before you could just like Google a title and find out if new things were coming in. So I definitely did a lot of, checking to see if there were updates for any of my favorite series. And just, yeah, I knew that library section like the back of my hand. So libraries were a huge part of my life then and are still a big part of my life now. I still love that feeling of walking around and seeing recommendations and chatting with librarians. I love it when I'm with my kids and they want to ask librarians for recommendations. They always seem to know the exact kinds of things that my kids would be interested in. So yeah, they're crucial.